Hey guys, back with another video. Today we're talking about Internet Computer, or ICP is the name of the token. So let's get into it. So it's funny because the day that Internet Computer launched, I remember it had so much hype. I think it was around the peak of last bull cycle, and it launched immediately on Coinbase, and I actually bought some. It was like $400 or something like that, and obviously now it's I think even after this huge pump, it's around $13. So obviously it's come down a huge amount, and it's basically only gone down since it launched. And I feel like that's an important thing to think about and to remember, because I think price leads narrative a lot of the time, even though people kind of think it's the other way around. It is kind of a chicken egg scenario thing, what comes first, but I think price comes first, because nobody cares if the price is down. Nobody cares. People want it to go up. So I think with AI, for example, the tokens pump, and that's when retail hears about it, and that's when the influencers hear about it, and that's when AI becomes a huge narrative. And then it's kind of like a flywheel. Now there's this huge narrative of AI, and that kind of starts the bull cycle. But I think it starts with price. And obviously we could dig a lot deeper into that, but the point of that is that ICP just had a major breakout of its downtrend, and it moved up massively after only going down for years. And so I think it's something to pay attention to, is basically the point. It reminds me of Cosmos a little bit, because Cosmos, obviously it's gotten a bad rap because people think that it hasn't performed very well, the price, it has too much inflation, yada, yada, yada. But ultimately, so many great things have been built from Cosmos. And it, similarly to ICP, launched at a very high price and then kind of really struggled since it launched. But we need to, I respect what they've done. Some of my favorite projects wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Cosmos, including, Thorchain is the biggest one, my second highest conviction play after Sol. And then also Celestia, which is a big name this year, which took a lot of its tech from Cosmos, I believe. I see it as kind of Cosmos 2.0. But anyways, the point is that these projects that launched at really high valuations and then have struggled, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're great projects just because they launched at a high valuation. But I think there's a reason they launched at such a high valuation. And the reason that they haven't gotten any the reason people aren't paying attention to them, or haven't been, but now they are, is because they were going down, because the price was boring and depressing. Nobody wants to be in something that's going down, it's just going straight down for 2 years. Unless you have extremely high conviction, of course, which, the people who stick around, they end up becoming cult members, basically. Similar to Solana, when the whole FTX thing happened, the fact that it went down so much, and the people who stuck around are now just diehard Solana fans and Solana builders. So it's the same thing with ICP now. So the people who are left over are just diehard ICP people. And we haven't even talked about if the tech is good. And, that's what I'm trying to learn about now, is how the tech works. I haven't gotten very far, but basically my major takeaway in researching it so far is that it's kind of the only blockchain that I'm aware of, please let me know if I'm incorrect, that is vertically integrated, or trying to be vertically integrated. So what does this mean? Really the major issue with blockchains other than ICP is that a lot of the data of things that are being built on top of it is held by extremely centralized parties. This is true for Ethereum. This is true for Solana. And what are these centralized parties? They are cloud providers. You know, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure are the two biggest ones, I believe. So if a project, you know, if Solana and Ethereum are reliant on Amazon Cloud Services or Microsoft Azure for their applications, can we truly say that they are decentralized? I think this is a major problem. It is also why Bitcoin remains king, because in order to use Bitcoin, you don't need those things. But this is where ICP comes in and is kind of just a completely new paradigm where the whole thing is on the blockchain, including the hosting, the web hosting. And again, I'm not super technical, basically. So I'm trying to learn how these things work. So I'm right there with you guys. Some of you guys might know how the internet works, for example, better than I do. So please let me know if I'm saying anything incorrect. But so to me, this is this could be massive. They're really ambitious here, Internet Computer, in trying to build a fully vertically integrated blockchain, basically. And one comparison I would like to make is to Tesla, which is my largest holding of any investment, which right now is kind of dominating the EV landscape. And one of the reasons is because they are fully vertically integrated. And they're actually becoming more and more vertically integrated. I believe they're getting into lithium. Anyways, they're getting more and more vertically integrated because this gives them a massive advantage. They can control the whole supply chain. Obviously, it's somewhat different for ICP, but it's similar. It's going to give them a lot of power. It's going to make them stand out. The fact that they're vertically integrated, and I don't know any other project that's vertically integrated. You know, other projects also need oracles. My understanding is that ICP has Oracle type systems built in. So you know, obviously, this is kind of just a first impressions video, but I'm liking what I see so far, and I definitely don't have full conviction yet. I'm trying to understand how centralized or decentralized the ICP infrastructure is. But when you think about how other blockchains are using Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure, then it kind of doesn't even matter that much if it's somewhat centralized, because all of its competition is centralized as well. So I'm definitely, you know, building out a position here pretty quickly. Like I said, I don't have full conviction, but the fact that it's a whole different paradigm than all of the competitors, that it's the only vertically integrated chain out there, makes me think I want a relatively large position. Because if this thing succeeds, I think it could just be massive. So these are just the initial thoughts. I'll probably come out with more videos in the future. I didn't even touch on a lot of, you know, things that are happening, such as it servicing as a layer 2 supposedly on Ethereum and Bitcoin. I haven't really looked into that stuff yet, but you know, that's what I got so far. So if you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.